Hi, I'm Kristyn Burtt for Red Carpet Report, and we are up bright and early for the 23rd Annual Screen Actors Guild Award nominations. The nominations are finally out. What do you think some of the themes are this year when it comes to the nominations and who the membership decided to honor?
What's fun is that there's some shakeups. There's some, and for some of the categories, especially like drama, it's not the usual suspects. There's a lot of new surprises, and that's fun. It's saying that people are watching a lot of different stuff. But then, which speaks to the other theme that I think is there. That for me, I see the diversity. Sure, there's racial and ethnic diversity, which is a beautiful thing. I mean, you got Viola Davis and Denzel Washington and Fences, and you got Hidden Figures and Moonlight. But there's also diversity in, even of like age. The little girl from Stranger Things is nominated, all the way up to Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda nominated for Grace and Frankie. So there's diversity of age, and then there's also diversity of like the size of movie. Moonlight is a small, few $1 million to make it, and then you've got Civil War, Captain America Civil War costs $200 million. So there's a lot of different kinds of stories getting made, and that to me is exciting, that people recognize, because we can't nominate them if they don't make them, And so when you see real diversity up there of all different categories, Amy Adams nominated for a science fiction, movie, which is, it's just kind of exciting because people are rethinking, telling the same old story. They're finding new ways to tell it and new people to help tell it.
Question about this, because SAG-AFTRA, it has a very specific body. It's actors, but it's also broadcasters. We're a part of this group. Why are we getting it? And I want to say, because I'm a member too, but I'm like, why are we getting it right in some ways where other guilds are still lagging behind?
We're getting it right because we have to play the role. So if the character is written to be African American, then you're going to need an African American. But at the same time, if the role is just written to be a broadcaster, anybody can be playing that role. Why does it have to be a man? Why can't it be a woman? Why can't it be a person of color? Why can't they be gay? Why can't they be? So we're the ones who, because we're fighting to get in the room to get a shot at the job, we're trying to say, yes, I get that sometimes it needs to be specific, but a lot of times it doesn't need to be. Give me a shot to get in there, because that we have to fight that fight. Directors don't have to fight that fight. The directors just have to prove that they know how to direct. Even if you know how to act, somebody's got to let you play this role. They've got to give you an opportunity, and so we are the ones who constantly have to fight for the opportunity. So we're constantly paying attention to the fact that if you're not thinking, your natural bias to saying, oh well, the anchor is going to be a middle-aged white male. That natural bias doesn't help me, doesn't help you. And so we're the ones who have to say, why don't you think about this? Because there's no reason why it can't be something different.
And you work for the woman who does that when it comes to casting, Shonda Rhimes, and I have been in for her show. I don't act, but she wants to look for real broadcasters.
Right.
And I will go into that casting room, and it's every color, every gender, everything. Everything is there.
Every time. It is a mandate in her world that they see across the board. And they try and make sure everybody's included. It's really a pleasure and an honor to work for her, just because, she's a friend and my boss, and it sounds like I'm, sucking up, but the reality is she's getting it done and showing a lot of people that there's money to be made by putting that diversity out there. If you have a show that has a little bit of everybody in it, and you tell stories that are so specific that they're universal, then everybody can see themselves, and you're gonna stack audiences. Oh, you'll pick up that mainstream audience, but you also pick up a little bit more of the Asian American audience, a little bit more of the African American audience, a little more of the Latino audience. And when you do that, next thing you know, in this world where ratings are going down and down and down because people have a million ways to amuse themselves, you can stack it and build it back up some. People start to realize that there's real money there.
Yeah, and if you write it well, I see myself a lot in.
It's got to be written well. At the end of the day, if it's bad, nobody cares.
That's true. That's so true. Because I always sit there and think, I'm like, I see a little bit of Olivia Pope with Kerry Washington in myself, because it's like, it's just written well. That she's got that fighting aspect to her, and I'm like, we all love that little scrappy part of ourselves, and I'm like, that's what draws me to the show.
Absolutely. The beauty of TV is TV either shows you things that are happening in the world that you didn't know about, or it shows you things that to a new level, that are heightened to a new level. It's like sometimes what Shonda does beautifully is take like the truth of what's going on and distill it down to that thing that's just like, a shock to the system. Nobody talks that fast, nobody's brain moves that fast, but there are days where you have good days where you say, oh, I got my Olivia Pope on today. I got, where you're like, where you feel, like there are days where I'm like, I felt like I was a smart, intelligent human being today, and she writes that on the regular.
She does, and no, I appreciate that, and you're so lucky to work for someone like that, just really a pioneer in the industry. And it seems like others are following suit with Ryan Murphy creating his behind the camera initiative. I think is also important.
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying, it's people are recognizing that it makes business sense to make sure you've got diversity. Before, everybody talked about it in terms of just a pie in the sky. It's the right thing to do, go team. But now we're starting to realize, no, people want to see themselves, and it's not that you need to. It doesn't need to be all this or all that. The mixture, it's a microcosm of what America really is.
I love your insights. Well, thank you so much for sharing them with us. I appreciate it.
Pleasure.
Good to see you. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and in the comments below, let us know who you think will win at the SAG Awards, Moonlight or Manchester by the Sea.